Evening, guys, and welcome back to the KC Racing Podcast with me, Kieran. I hope you all are well. Um, Another decent weekend last weekend. Well, over the 3 days at Newmarket, York, with four winners overall. Some decent prices in there. Obviously, we had Obelix on Friday, winning at 20-1. Which was decent, and obviously Royal Velvet was won at 7-1 on Saturday, and Alto unfortunately just beaten in a photo at as huge as 40-1. We backed him each way as well. So some decent profit over the weekend from the podcast, and currently since the first day of Royal Ascot at the back end of last season, I've gone from being in a bit of a doldrums, to be honest. But for the last month and a bit, well, probably last month, I'm up nearly 68 points profit. So it's been a decent month, and we still keep banging the winners. We're unlucky today. David Dock looked okay going to the second last, but then fell in an absolute hole. But we move on to this weekend where we have racing from Newbury and Market Rasen. I know we have the Irish Oaks over in Ireland, but we got 1-3 favourite, and I'm quite happy to leave that racing alone, to be honest. I'll let others cover it. So we start with the 150, the Stenson Stakes at Newbury, over 1 mile 2 furlongs, where Effajan is favourite currently for 11-4 for Roger Varian, Shadwell and Jim Crowley. He's been disappointing this season so far, not really done much. Hasn't done much really since he won the John Smith's Cup this time last season. Obviously this is a listed event, that was a handicap that he won, so I'd be well happy to take him on. The horse I'm going to take him on with is Bolster for Carl Burke and Pierre-Louis Jamin at 20-1. He's not done a lot since. He was 4th last time out in a listed event behind Hamish at Goodwood. Hasn't really done much. That was his first try at this trip of the 1 mile 2 furlongs, which we'll be taking on Saturday. He won a listed event at the back end of last season at Newmarket. But the form that stands out for me, he was sent off second favourite, I think it was 132nd favourite for a race at the Curragh this time last year, where Jan Bruegel won the race for Aidan O'Brien. Obviously, he's gone on to bigger and better things, winning the St. Leger and then winning the Coronation Stakes at Epsom this season. And True Instinct was second. He's obviously won 2 decent pots this year as well for McManus and Joseph O'Brien. So I think Bolster, I think Carl Burke's horses are in decent enough nick, and I think at 20-1 he can certainly outrun his odds in this what looks a trappy race. Not many winners have come from this race, winning form coming into the race, so I'm willing to take a swing on Bolster at 20-1. The next race, the 225, the handicap over 2 miles, is pretty similar feat, to be honest. Wild Waves is favourite here at 2-1 for Balding and Doyle. Last seen Thurnis in third in I can't remember the name of the handicap, the last race at Ascot, the 2 mile 5 handicap, behind Sober of Willie Mullins is. The one I'm going to take a swing on is Amistine of Faye Bramley's, formerly of George Brown, with Cam Hardy in the saddle. Best price 12-1. One over course and distance last time, so won't be phased by that. I know that was a class 4, and this is a class 2 he's coming into, but it has the winning thread. A lot of these have not won in a long time. There's a long losing streak. And he was actually ran a decent race when 4th the time before that behind Adagio at Goodwood. Now Spirit Mixer was in that race. He finished second. He then went on to win the Northumberland Plate a few weekends ago, so the form looks decent. I think Amistad, if he can get an easy lead on the front end, could be potentially difficult to pass, and at 12-1 I'm willing to take a swing at him. The 257, the Hackwood Stakes over 6 furlongs, and this again is a minefield of race. Regional is favourite at 5-2 for Callum Rodriguez and Ed Bethel, obviously third in the King Charles VIII last time at Royal Ascot behind American there. However, that race was over 5 furlongs. This is 6, So I'd be willing to take him. I know he's won over 6 previously, obviously, but I think his best form and potentially could be marked for a race at Haydock later on down the line. So I'd be willing to take him on, currently priced at 5-2. That's not for me at all. I like the second favourite in here again for Carl Burke, and it's Elite Status, who actually won this race last season and is 2 from 2 at the track. Clifford Lee is in the saddle. Was down the field behind Lazat last time at Ascot, and then was down the field, finished 4th actually behind Innes Sheeran at York the time before that. This is obviously a lot, I believe, weaker contest, and at 4-1 he's got the course form and obviously won the race last year, beating Lake Forest. I'd be happy to take him at 4-1. He's probably one of my better bets of the weekend. Then we move on to the Super Sprint. Now, all the talk has been about Havana Hurricane, who is declared at 11-10. All the money, everything, everybody on Twitter is on this horse, or X, whatever you want to call it. So, potentially, could be thrown in. Obviously, won the Windsor Castle last time out for Eve Johnson Horton and Charlie Bishop. But I fancy a horse who actually finished down the field in that Windsor Castle race. I watched the race back before coming on, and the horse is Gaga Mate of George Scott's and Callum Shepherd in the saddle. Was drawn on the far side, the same as Havana Hurricane in the Windsor Castle, and they were going really well coming to the furlong pole, but then jinked badly left when coming under pressure and was really only ridden home hands and heels to finish down the field. I think he finished like 17th or 18th in the end. Then went to Foss Lass and was disappointing when beaten favourite at Foss Lass at 11. He was 11-8 on the day, but didn't really get the gaps that was required and got out a bit late and potentially not in the best place in the race either. Just couldn't catch the one that was in front. These things happen, especially in sprints. Drawn 19, which is obviously you want to be drawn high at Newbury. This race seems to throw up a lot of high drawn horses, and at 40-1, if he can get out and get a decent posse and potentially stay there this time, I think he could definitely outrun his odds. Now, Havana Hurricane is certainly well deserving of being favourite, but he dwelt coming out of the stalls at Epsom 2 starts back. He can't do that in the sprint here. If he falls out the stalls here, he's going to have to take a very, very good performance to peg these back. So I wouldn't be going rushing at him at the price at 11-10. So Gaga Mate 40-1 will be my each way play. You're probably going to get 4, maybe even 5 places in this race on Saturday morning. Then we move over to more my kettle of fish, over to Market Rasen. The jumpers are back. The Summer Plate card, and the first race we're going to touch on is the 205 handicap hurdle over 2 mile 4, where Deployed to Spy is favourite at 2-1 for Ollie Murphy and Sean Bowen. Now they have a strong hand throughout the card, as you'll hear as we go through the races. Won well okay at Worcester last time, this horse, beating Kite Surfer. But I'm willing to take him on, and the horse I'm going to take him on with is Porter of the Park of Emma Lavelles. Now, he's not done anything this season, finishing down the field in both his starts to the summer to date, but that has been over 3 miles, dropped back to 2.5 miles. They've put a £10 claimer on in Johnson Baker. Unfortunately, Callum, I've never heard of you. I've never seen you ride, or Cameron, sorry. So hopefully it's a blessing in disguise, but this horse has all the ability in the world, and if he's there coming over the last, I think he's got a great chance of going close. He's won over this trip before, so I think he could go outrun his odds, certainly, and the fact that you can get around 20-1 on this horse each way is definitely a play for me. Moving on to the 240, the Summer Handicap over 2 miles, and Sir Galahad is favourite again for Bowen and Murphy, 9-2 favourite. 104 starts, 4 from 4, perfect 100% record. Won at Worcester last time, beating Gillette, I think it is, who then has come out in front of the Formula 1 since, and in fact the horse that Gillette beat last time, 60 plus, actually won the last race, the 8:55 at Worcester today, as I'm recording on Thursday evening. So the form looks strong, but 9-2, not in a handicap hurdle like this, not for me. The horse I'm going to back is Time Interval of David Dennis's Adam Wedge in the saddle. 2 from 3 this season, all wins coming at Stratford and at Warwick. Very positive horse to goes from the front with his heart on his sleeve. You know what you're going to get. And I think a positive front running ride from Adam Wedge here. If as long as he gets an uncontested lead, he might be very difficult to peg back. And I'm willing to take a swing on him each way at 20-1. And then the big race of the day is the Summer Plate itself over 2 mile 5, where Sure Touch is favourite, the last year's winner for again Murphy and Bowen. They could have a very good day indeed. 4-1 currently best price. I'm going to back a horse first time out for Sarah Bradstock, and I know a few others like this horse as well. And that's Horenze Dury of, as I said, Sarah Bradstock, and Jack Tudor win the plate. Currently best price 14-1. Was last seen finishing second at a massive 50-1 at Uttoxeter. Ran in the National 2 starts ago, the Grand National itself, where he was down the field but not too, where he's 50-1. I think he was about 100 odd to 1 that day as well. But a few starts back, this time last year, he was actually, when he was trained by Willie Mullins of all people, he was second in the Kerry National. And I think if he brings that sort of form back, he's off the same mark as he was in the Kerry National. And I think if he runs any sort of race of that ilk, he will be hard to not fill the frame. And at 14-1, he's well worth an each way play to me. So quickly skim through the races again. The race at Newbury, the 150, I like Bolster in the 1 mile 2 race. The 225 of 2 miles, Amstadt for Faye Bramley is for me, 12-1. Currently, the Hatwood Stakes, I like Elite Status, who will probably be, I'm not going to say it's going to be my nap, because probably my NB, because obviously we have the jumps that I more like. And then in the Super Sprint, the 330 Gaga Mate, I think it's far too big. If he gets out and gets prominent, I think he could outrun his odds at 40-1 for Callum Shepherd and George Scott. And then the 3 races that we just covered over in Market Rasen. The Handicap Hurdle over 2 mile 4, Port in the Park, to outrun his odds, currently 12-1 best price. Will be finishing strongly for sure. Time Interval in the Handicap Hurdle at 240 over 2 miles. If he gets his own way in front, it could be difficult to peg back. And then Horonzo Derry in the Summer Plate, who I fancy really strongly, and I think he could be outrun his odds and will be potentially the nap of the day. We'll see what prices we get on Saturday morning, when all races and all horses will be priced up at 8 AM in Saturday morning. I'll be posted on my Telegram, on my Twitter, and you can find it all there. Thanks again for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed and liked the video. If you want to get involved in my naps competition I've run for the last 2 weeks, simply come over and join my Telegram. All you need to do is DM me your nap for the ITV races, and then the winning highest SP will win a £5 free bet. If there's 2 people with the same horse or the same SP, then there will be £5 for each of them, and so forth. But I hope you all enjoyed the video, guys. I hope you all have a great weekend of punting, and happy punting to you all.